Yeah. Hey, I got 'em starstruck. They watching my moves, I got 'em starstruck. Out here breaking the rules, I got 'em starstruck. I got nothing to lose, so I'm letting it loose. Out here paying my dues, I got 'em starstruck.
Welcome to Football Friday night and welcome to the postseason. 40 of our schools from West Central Ohio have made it to this stage. The dream of a state championship is still alive and the chase has officially begun.
40 teams across seven division, guys. And we start off with Lima Senior.
Yeah, Tony, the Spartans are at really a crucial point of adversity coming off their first and their only loss of the season. Now, they're just one of 3 9-win teams that go on the road tonight.
Lima Senior lost out to the Toledo City League title with their Week 10 loss to start last Friday night. Now this week, they'll look to start a postseason run at Vandalia Butler. In the first quarter, the Lima Senior defense trying to get something going. Butler will hand the ball off up the middle and get quickly stood up and brought down by Carl Stokes for a nice loss there. Let's go to the second. Butler faking a handoff. Deshad Greer, though, will chase down the QB. He's not buying it, hoping to give this Lima Senior team a little bit of juice. But later, Lima Senior down big, unfortunately, and they'll come out of the half swinging, though. The onside kick takes a big hop, goes through the hands of Butler, and Cameron Hicks dives onto it to give him some life. But it wasn't enough, guys. Lima Senior season ends with back-to-back losses, a 31-0 final score. All right, let's go to the scoreboard now. Elsewhere in Region 8, Sydney falls to Xenia 31-14. And in Division 1, Findlay's season comes to a close 48-0 against Lakewood St. Ed. That season really a season of what-ifs without Ryan Montgomery.
Yeah, you have to wonder, right? After a 10-0 regular season, Wapakoneta begins their postseason journey at home against Franklin. The Redskins have an offense that's averaged nearly 35 points per game coming into Week 11. On the opening drive, Caleb Moyer rolls out. He will find a wide-open Caden Page. That's a 16-yard touchdown pass, and that puts Wapak up 7-0. Franklin is looking for an answer, but if Grant Stauffer has anything to say about it, he comes up with the pick right here, and the senior brings it to the Wildcats' 11-yard line. So that'll set up this play by Moyer. He fakes the handoff and sends it right back to Stauffer, and the Redskins now lead 14-0. And this one's all Wapakoneta. Moyer sneaks in for the 1-yard score. The Wildcats did not stand a chance tonight as the Redskins win 48-7. They will host Wilmington next week.
All right, elsewhere in Region 12, St. Mary's at home against Miami Trace. Rough Riders have won 6 straight. We're at Grand Lake Health Field. Now, St. Mary's leads 14-7 at the half, but jumping ahead to the 4th. Miami Trace now up 17-14. Aiden Meinerding hands the ball to Caleb Schmidt. 54 yards later, St. Mary's is back in the lead, 21-17. But now St. Mary's is down 24-21. Less than 3 minutes to play in the game. It's 4th and 20. Meinerding to Kessler. Kessler tosses to Colton Mabry. He's a yard short of the first down. But wait, 30 seconds later, so under 2 minutes to play, Miami Trace going to the air. Deep down the field, Noah Dixon, the Riders are back in the game, but again, St. Mary's 4th and 20. Again, only 40 seconds left on the clock. And just watch this, Aiden Meinerding to Parker Beam, 41 yards. The fans are losing. St. Mary's is a winner, 28-24. Shout out to the blue and gold passing game one time. Up next, right? 1C Tippecanoe is their reward.
All right, there's one local team over in Region 10. The Defiance Bulldogs played the 6th toughest schedule in Division 3, so they get rewarded with the 6th seed against fellow 6-4 team Bowling Green. Both teams also averaging 24 points a game, but the Bulldogs just hungry from the jump. Abel Rubio plows into the end zone to make it 31-0. Bobcats just have to try to keep this one within reach before halftime. Looking to the skies, but it's the linebacker Cohen Stockman jumping in for the INT. It's a running clock second half, but still history yet to be made. So Brez Zipfel tosses to Anthony Wilder and breaks the all-time passing yard school record with that TD. Defiance wins big 38-0, avenging their season-ending loss in 2020, now set to travel to Cleveland Benedictine.
Bell Fountain falls to Chaminade Julian 44-28. Back to the WBL. Salina goes down against Archbishop McNicholas 35-3. Elida loses at the hands of undefeated Shelby 49-21. Ottawa Glandorf at Galleon. The Titans win a close one 13-7. So now it's OG against Shelby next Friday.
Road upset for the Titans.
Fairview at Liberty Benton. Eagles shut them out 37-0. They'll head to Liberty Center in the next round. Bath puts up 51 on Carlisle, winning by 30. They'll face 1 seed Jamestown Greenview next week. And finally, elsewhere in Region 20, Stewart's Indian Lake Lakers are a winner over Versailles 19-7. Next up, Camden Preble Shawnee. All right, it's time for our first break. When we come back, Division 7 we go. Marion Local, Columbus Grove, LCC, and Pandora Gilboa. Highlights and scores straight ahead.
You're watching Football Friday Night!
Welcome back to Football Friday Night. Let's now turn our attention to a busy Division 7.
And what a better place to start than with our spotlight game. LCC and Pandora Gilboa meet over at Spartan Stadium.
Tonight's Football Friday Night Spotlight game is brought to you by Citizens National Bank.
Well, it's the first ever meeting between the two schools. PG comes in having outscored their last 3 opponents 126-34, so they're feeling good. And on the T-Birds' opening possession, Brady Parker calls his number. He's feeling good. The sophomore will go 7 yards up the middle for the touchdown, 7-zip. Not deja vu here. LCC finds himself back in the red zone. Parker again reaching for pay dirt. It's 14-0 after 2 possessions. Moving to the second quarter now. Parker's big night continues. His 3rd touchdown here of his 4 touchdowns in the first half. 20-0 LCC after the missed extra point, but Pandora Gilboa will get themselves on the board before the half. Andrew Miller fighting his way for 7, but despite the Rockets' late game push, LCC is a winner 33-28. They will move on to face the winner of our next game, but before we get there, let's hear from LCC's head coach Scott Palte after the game.
We were up 27-7 at halftime, and give Pandora credit. They came out and really took it to us to start the third quarter. Really proud of our guys. We got knocked on our heels. We were able to gain some composure and get a big touchdown drive and get a 2-score lead again, and then run the clock out here at the end and get a big win. I'm really proud of our gentlemen right here. It's got to keep getting better each week. Keep trying to play our best football each week, be consistent, execute, and we'll get in on Monday and get to work.
All right, so here we go. North Baltimore made the trip to Columbus Grove on the other part of the bracket in Region 26. Grove, of course, wrapping up a perfect regular season after dominating Bluffton in Week 10. We all remember that one. Now, the Bulldogs on defense to start us off. North Baltimore looking down the field. He rolls to his right, gathers over his receiver to Grant Eversole, who returns it a few yards, setting Columbus Grove up nicely. And the Grove offense, they convert the turnover to points. Who else? Trenton Barraza punches it in. It's 7-0. Now back comes North Baltimore, trying again here to go downfield. This time it's Levi Schrader with the INT. A solid return along the sidelines to boot. Now Columbus Grove would not get anything on the ensuing drive, but later they're back on offense. Kyle Hopkins out to the flats. Gavin Baxter makes the catch, and he is off and running 43 yards to the promised land. 14-0 there. Columbus Grove's your winner 42-8. They'll host LCC next Friday night.
Elsewhere in Region 26, 15 seed St. John's, 2 seed USV. And while the Rams have won 9 straight, they're the ones with something to prove. The NWCC 4-17 in the last 4 postseasons. MAC teams, meanwhile, 30 wins, 3 losses, just in Week 11. So the Blue Jays hunting down the upset, down 22-7 after half, and Connor Gagne, 6th play of the third quarter, 26 yards out. DSJ within 8 points, down 22-14. Same score now, 4th quarter. Jays ball at midfield. Drew Boggs airs it out. Braden Pullman beats his man. Finally secures the touchdown grab. It's 22-20 though. St. John's 2-point try is stuffed. However, Jays defense forces the ensuing 3 and out. Then first play of the next drive, Boggs finds Gagne on the screen, and the senior takes off for 45 yards. Blue Jays back in the red zone, and on the very next snap, Boggs finishes the job with his feet. St. John's scoring the last 21 unanswered points after the successful 2-point try. They are the 6th team ever to win as a 15 seed. Final score 28-22. Blue Jays go to Tiffin Calvert next week.
All right, let's stick in Hardin County. Ada is back in the playoffs for the first time since 2017. The Dogs are looking for their first postseason win in 11 years. As for Lipstick, they're looking to avenge last week's conference loss against Ada. In the third, Lipstick trails 14-12. So here's Mark Kirkendall with a shuffle pass to Ty Lammers. The senior tacks on 6 for the Vikings. The 2-point conversion is no good, and Lipstick now leads by 4. Later in the quarter, Kirkendall drops back and fires a beauty downfield to Colin East, and the Vikings have tacked on 12 unanswered points to lead 24-14. In the fourth, the momentum is still on Lipstick's side. Kirkendall to Jace Breck, and he does the rest. How about 18 unanswered by the Vikes? Lipstick now leads 30-14. The Bulldogs would cut that lead down with a TD of their own, and they're going for 2. Levi Green slings it over to Caleb Hickman. The 2-point conversion is good. Ada now trails by 8. But that's the last of the scoring. Kirkendall takes the knee, and Lipstick takes this one 30-22.
A lot of second half comebacks there in that county. Hey, Tony, what's next for the Vikings will be decided here. Arlington makes their 6th straight trip to the playoffs, but up against the 3-seed 8-2 Gibsonburg. First drive for the Golden Bears. They've cracked the red zone, but it's Red Devil territory as the defense reads the counter play, swallows up the back. Arlington forces Gibsonburg to settle for the field goal, and it is wide left. We remain scoreless. However, Bears back on the doorstep, and no such luck for Arlington this time. The Red Devils would fall 21-7, so it'll be Lipsick traveling to Gibsonburg next week.
Give Tony a break, everyone. His voice a little lost. He was at Game 4 of the World Series. You know, lost his voice cheering for his Yankees. Not to be confused with when he was sick in like weeks 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, good times.
All right, let's go back to football, shall we? Macomb doubles up Eden 28-14. They'll face Sycamore Mohawk next Friday. Hardin Northern season ends tonight 55-25 against Tiffin Calvert.
All right, guys, now to Region 28. 3 different teams turned down their 16th-seed playoff spot. The one team to step up is for recovery. They will battle the top team in Division 7, Marion Local. In the first quarter, the Flyers march down the field. Justin Knopf rolls to his right and throws a pretty pass right in stride to Victor Hoscher. The senior connection puts Marion Local up 7-0. The Flyers will take over after an interception. Knopf rolls to his left this time, and it's Hoscher again with the grab. That's a Marion Local first down. And on the next play, Marion Local puts their foot to the pedal. Parker Hess takes it up the gut for the score, and the Flyers move on with a 68-0 shutout win. They will host Tri-Village next Friday.
That's right, Tony. But on the other end of the bracket, a milestone in Mount Victory, the first ever Ridgemont playoff game. Now, we've seen a lot of that over the last 4 years, given the playoffs have expanded. But as the 6th seed, the Golden Gophers would have made it even in the old system. That means they get to make their postseason debut in front of their home field community. Coming off their first winning season since 1995, but up against Fort Loramie, the Redskins, 7-0 against Ridgemont this century. Gophers defense allowing just 11 points per game, but on the Skins' opening drive is 10 plays, 81 yards, capped off by Thomas Hoying's rush TD, 7-0 Loramie. That score holds on until the second quarter after a couple punts. Gabe Hart looks to get things going for Loramie through the air, and Hoying is open 40 yards downfield. He takes it the rest of the way for a 77-yard pass. Tutty, 15-zip after the 2-pointer. But big momentum swing coming for Ridgemont. After taking the kickoff out to the opposing 36, it's Mason Howard breaking free, a 25-yard score. Gophers on the board 15-8, and then they force a fumble on kickoff. Then they connect for a 30-yard pass, and then with just 3 snaps of the football, Xavier Stuck finds the edge for a 20-yard touchdown. Ridgemont in mere seconds takes the 16-15 lead. Redskins won't be denied, though. This time they take the ensuing kickoff into plus territory, then score twice before the half and win it 49-22. Fort Loramie moving on, heading to Cincy College Prep.
Now, the MAC dominated several spots tonight. In D6, Coldwater beat Covington 58-0. Back to D7, Minster, not to be outdone, beat Manchester by 61, 75-14. Cavs will return home next week, while Minster faces New Bremen or St. Henry. We'll get to that game in just a minute. Elsewhere, Lehman Catholic tops Riverside 46-13. Cavaliers will face Ansonia or Twin Valley South, while Waynesville Goshen season comes to a close at the hands of Tri-Village 43-7. All right, it's time for our final break, but we're not slowing down. After the break, we'll wrap up Division 7 with New Bremen and St. Henry. Division 6 as well, Paulding, Bluffton, highlights, scores coming up. Welcome back to Football Friday Night for the final time. And before we get to Division 6, let's wrap up Division 7. Tony.
It's a local against local matchup from Region 28, New Bremen at St. Henry.
Not just local against local, a good one, too, on a night that saw a lot of blowouts.
Especially
these
from
two,
the MAC.
of course, from the MAC. Now, these two did just meet 2 weeks ago. 21-14, St. Henry win then. Now, let's pick things up late in the second quarter. Skins can smell the end zone. Charlie Whirling takes the handoff up the gut. That touchdown puts St. Henry up 13-10 at the half. Let's jump ahead to the fourth. Still 13-10 Skins. New Bremen in need of a game-winning drive. QB Gavin Dickey going to use his legs to extend the drive. The 13-yard scamper has the Cardinals within striking distance. Nice move there, too. A defensive stalemate in this MAC rubber match, though. Both teams pitching a shutout in the second half. Charlie Whirling doing it on both sides of the ball tonight, coming up big with this sack for the Skins. St. Henry squeaks out a win at home tonight over New Bremen, 13-10. They'll face another familiar foe in Minster next Friday night.
And Bluffton and Paulding meet in Week 11 for the second year in a row. Since 2009, the Pirates have an 11-2 record against Panthers. And it's still spooky season, according to the Bluffton student section. After a shutout loss last week to Columbus Grove, the Pirates are looking for an explosive start. And what a better way to do it than with this kickoff return touchdown by Noah Bricker. The senior will outrun everyone on the field. For the first score of the game, Bluffton jumps out to an early 7-0 lead. But that will be the only score in the first quarter. As we head to the second, Bluffton is facing the 4th and 1, and it's Paulding senior Jack Woods with a huge stop. The Panthers will take over on downs. But that doesn't faze the Pirates, as they would get the ball back. Here's Tate Gieske connecting with Griffin Stackhouse. That's a Bluffton first down and more. And later in the drive, Gieske runs it back with Stackhouse again. This time it results in a Bluffton touchdown. Pirates going to win this game 21-6.
Yeah, Bluffton's moving on to Week 12 with their play Huron. The 6th seed Tigers ended Spencerville's season tonight 42-7. And on the other half of the bracket, Patrick Henry rolls over their conference rival Evergreen 35 yes, that says 4. Up next, they host Tenora. 2 safeties? I'm in. That's my kind of football.
Hey, they were up 35-0, so maybe.
That's true. Finally, back in Region 24, Anna dominates Perry 61-14. The MAC teams go 6-2 tonight. Rockets will host Purcell Marion next week.
All right, that'll do it for Football Friday night, a wild first week of the postseason. And if you missed any of the action, you can go to our website or social media for a full recap of everything and from tonight's show. Now, tune in tomorrow for a full Saturday of regional finals and state championship cross country. Of course, these guys will have you covered.
Yes, sir.
Now, for Tony Quach and Dylan Tyson, I'm Adam Solomon. We'll see you next week for more Football Friday night.